hop on with you guys real quick. There is crazy, crazy things happening today, and I think it's one of the scariest things that we've seen in a long, long time. So basically, we have these three banks that have closed over the course of the weekend, and it looks like we could have some serious, serious ripple effects from this affecting our entire country. Joe Biden and Janet Yellen are both talking today, trying to calm everybody down, even though, as we speak, there are people lined up around banks in America trying to get their hands on their money and not being able to do so. So, oh, man, this is a huge deal. So Joe Biden comes out and says Americans can breathe easier knowing the nation's financial system is safe. It's his first remarks since they rolled out these measures to try to basically make people feel a lot better about these three banks closing over the weekend. And the thing that I find troubling about it is these banks are the biggest banks that have failed since the Great Depression. And when it comes to their failure, it is crash and burn failure. I mean, they are in the course of 24 hours going completely out of business to the point that they're being covered by the government. That's how quickly this is happening. The Silicon Valley Bank stock lost 60% of its value in one trading session. And I'm telling you what, y'all, if you happen to have some stocks in the stock market, just don't look today. Don't look. Last I looked, the stock market as a whole was down about 3.5% today so far, just based on this. And we were already in a downtrend. So we're seeing another massive departure of wealth from the American stock market again. So basically, Joe Biden says, we'll do whatever is needed to prove the banking system is safe. I'm going to ask Congress and the banking regulators to strengthen the rules for banks to make it less likely this kind of failure will happen again. He reiterated that taxpayers won't directly foot the bill for the plan financed by federal banking fees. Directly is the key word there. Like, oh, we're still going to pay. Like, Joe's still going to come up with I mean, somebody's got to pay for this. And we're pretty much the only people that are around to fit that bill for him. So he's previously thrown his weight behind the U.S. banking and financial regulators' plan to back all the deposits in a series of tweets. Oh, good. We're tweeting now. Great. That's really helps America. Wonderful. Tweets. Basically saying that the Federal Reserve and FDIC acted at his direction to craft a plan that protected workers, small businesses, taxpayers, and our financial system. Not all experts agree with these initiatives, including a big-name economist that says the scheme is a mistake that will lead to even greater instability in the banking system and larger future losses, likely many more banks. Interesting fact, y'all. So my degree is in American history, and the thing that I find the most troubling is this is the beginning of a very, very similar thing to what we saw during the stock market crash in the 1920s, where we had wild speculation in the 1920s of people betting on the stock market with all the money that they had, betting on anything that they could because they were able to. Interesting. So take that and then compare to it that today, in today's day and age, we have the exact same thing going on. Stock market with crazy volatility. You've got these subreddits and Wall Street bets where they're basically colluding to pump up stocks that are failing in order to make money from them and then dumping them wholesale. People losing mass sums of wealth on that. And that's I mean, a perfect parallel to what we're talking about, same exact thing. People just playing the lottery with the stock market. And then the other portion of that is instability of banks. You got these banks that are in the process of failing. You get people showing up just exactly like the stock market crash, standing around the building, waiting for somebody to open the door so they can get their money. I mean, these two parallels are terrifying. Interesting fact here. So during Joe's speech, the stock market basically took a big old tank. It was up about 2.5% in early trading this morning before the bell. And now we are looking at, we're looking at basically stocks went from up about 2.5%. Futures were up last night to stocks down greater than 1 to 3% across the spectrum. It's funny too because Joe kind of comes on and he goes off script sometimes, and when he does, like it depends on how you feel about Joe. Sometimes he kind of looks away from the teleprompters and starts talking, and you're like, "What's up, Joe? Let's see what you got today for us. Let's see what kind of clickbait worthy stuff you could throw down for us today, bud." So when he did that, he said, "This is how capitalism works," about equity holders in the failed banks losing their investments with depositors in the same institutions. Cool, Joe. I'm sure the people who overnight lost their entire life savings are really happy that this is how capitalism works. Well played, sir. Elizabeth Warren, who is herself a very interesting person, took issue with Biden's oversight of the bailout. They're calling it a bail-in so that it doesn't sound, reminiscent of the 2008 where we bailed out all these banks and bailed out all these different institutions. So took issue with the bailout to protect billion-dollar crypto firms. Regulators have said that banks, rather than taxpayers, will bear the cost required. We'll see if that's true. So then you got people in his own party who are coming out and saying, Joe, we don't believe you. So that's super, super troubling. And the other thing that's interesting about today, yields hit a 6-month low Monday morning following the opening of the bond market. So we have another drop in U.S. investments where U.S. bonds are worth less today than they were previously. So I think we're really starting to see ripple effects of these banks failing, starting with these 2 banks last week, the one hitting over the weekend, making these 3 banks. Now you have all the talking points. You have Joe getting up there and doing the old, "Please remain calm, all is well," and I don't think people are buying it this time, because that's the other thing you're seeing. People are lining up to get their money, just exactly like the stock market crash that started the Great Depression. And we're looking with another just straight parallel. You've got inflation in several different categories bordering near all-time highs. Cost of food is up greater than 50% in a lot of categories. People holding on to what money they could. My business is definitely seeing the impact of it. If you guys saw the video I posted about small businesses, people aren't shopping, and when they are, they're spending less money. It's going to cause problems when it comes to small businesses being able to stay open, because we rely on y'all. I mean, huge companies like Walmart can weather the storm. They'll get you to shop online with them where their margins are the best. They'll fire a bunch of employees and install more of these lovely self-checkouts that I refuse to use because you're putting people out of work. And the only claim they have there is, theft is up, so we have to raise our prices. Theft is up because people don't have the money to buy basic necessities, so regular people are becoming desperate and doing what they have to do to feed their families. And it's going to get worse in that regard. And the last thing I want to touch on here, first thing in the morning with y'all, other countries are watching what's happening with us. Russia is stepping up its assaults and offensive in Ukraine because they know we have problems at home now. I mean, here we are giving billions of dollars to Ukraine, and our banks are failing. If you were Putin, would you take your foot off the gas? I sure wouldn't. If anything, if I were him, I would launch every possible assault I can right now and put the pressure on us, because we're putting the pressure on him militarily. He can stomp on us financially. And either way, the desired goal of causing us serious problems will take effect. That will be beneficial for them. At the same time, China is basically saying they are going to basically militarize their entire country. A bunch of internal documents have come out saying that they have plans to put themselves on a war footing, so to speak, where if you look back at how we were during World War II, when all the men were fighting, all the women were building bombs, building airplanes, all the men who weren't able to fight or return home from fighting were involved in war drives and, making up the shortages by turning in tires and aluminum foil and all these things. That's what they're doing right now. They're getting on a war footing. Why would you do that? Because your opponent is weak, because their banks are failing, because the president doesn't know what the heck he's doing and is telling everybody remain calm. I think, like I said, the effects of what is happening right now, man, y'all, if you're not praying for America yet, today might be a good day to start, because we already have the possibility of World War III on the horizon with a military that is understaffed and underprepared. I read an article today from a think tank that I was going to get into tomorrow, but I may go ahead and do it this afternoon, and I think you guys are going to find it really, really interesting. That goes back into delving a little bit further into our military isn't ready. We're just not. We don't have enough people. The military infrastructure is failing. Our Navy is underpowered against China and Russian navies. Our jets don't have pilots. Ooh, y'all, like I said, if you're not praying for America yet, get started, because you take that along with these economic problems. The Great Depression by itself caused us turmoil for decades. It took World War II to get us out of it. So does that mean, that's the question that I'm going to leave you guys with? And wow, that was a big one. See, living by the EOD school. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but they just blew up something huge over there. That was awesome. But what was I saying? Dang it, EOD, can you guys hold it off like 10 seconds, man? Come on. Anyways, but it took World War II to get us out of the Great Depression. This is the question I want to leave you guys with. Is it going to take World War III to get us out of what we're in right now? And what does that mean? What does that mean for us? I think World War III will be significantly different than the previous ones, because at least with two, we were the only ones that had the bomb at the end of the war. And now Iran basically has it. North Korea says they have it. China and Russia have it. We have it. If we get into a shooting war with Russia and they start losing, does that mean they're going to use nukes, even low-yield tactical nukes on us? Does that mean they'll pick a battlefield, start pulling their troops way back, and then fire one off and tactically nuke a big area of our people? Man, I sure hope not. That would suck. That would suck a lot, because once you open that can of worms, where does it go from there? And we have increased our nuclear capability, so as they say, there it goes. That's the whole deal right there. People start launching nukes, we will respond in kind. Our missiles pass each other in the air, and I'll be taking a folding chair to the beach, drink some beers, hang out and wait. That's not good. I don't want to do that. So I really think I'm going to be staying on top of this and paying attention the rest of the day. I'm watching the stock market and seeing where this goes. And I'll come back live if there's any other big time stories related to this that I think we need to talk about. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for commenting. Interesting fact about the Finland War. I'm actually Finnish in heritage, so I've done a ton of research on that. And I'm here to tell you that if anyone invades Finland in the history of the world, they're most definitely going to lose. We're large people. We like drinking and fighting. It's not going to go well. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and throw some comments down there. I love talking with y'all. You guys are super smart on this stuff, and I love it. So if you want to talk some more with me, I'm going to be doing some more research and chilling here at the house and looking into this stuff further. So thank y'all for watching. Have an awesome day.